Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Unknown Gaming Podcast. I'm Tanner. We're here with Chris, and we have a special guest today, Stetson.
Nice
Welcome.
to meet all y'all. All 4 subscribers.
I think
I
we're
think
in
we
the
have
double
more
digits
than,
now.
Yeah, we got
We're
double
in the
digits.
We're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, it's happening.
This is real.
Yep. So we like people we don't even know subscribe, so that's cool. All the people we do know haven't subscribed yet, so that's not cool. But
Yeah, they're a bunch
Look,
of
I
jerks.
subscribed.
I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Yeah,
I didn't get my check in the mail or anything for
yeah.
it.
It's
You haven't unsubscribed yet?
Royalties
like the
come later.
Discord?
No, I'm still on the Discord. I even posted something the other day.
Did you?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
no
gonna
one
have to go.
commented back.
I'm gonna have to go look for that.
You know why no one commented back? Because Discord's a waste of time.
Wait, that was you that posted that?
The picture of my board?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
I guess I can change my name so people know who I am.
it would help.
So we've got lots of stuff happen here recently. We had the big preview this past Saturday from Games Workshop.
Mhm.
We got new stuff coming out. I guess it's going up for pre-order tomorrow, or is it coming out tomorrow?
No, it's a
Dark
pre-order
Angels
tomorrow.
stuff comes out tomorrow, and some of them Space Marine stuff.
Okay.
It's pre-ordered tomorrow. Out the first weekend of Saturday of February.
And then Stetson and I had a pretty good Crusade game this week.
Yeah, Death Card are apparently a lot better when you give them their second wound.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy. I was like, oh, they just don't fall over? That was a lot less fun.
That was a good game, though. We tied like straight down the middle,
No, that was a...
as tied as you could be.
And I think if you'd actually known the rest of your Death Card rules, you probably would have won, because you didn't play with a plague company,
Yeah,
and you didn't know some of your stratagems. And I went back and looked, and when your commander got in there, he could have done like
I
ton
should have
of
just mortal
wounds.
wounded you to death.
Yeah. And you take a mortal wound, and you get a mortal wound, and you get a mortal wound. What did you do to deserve those? Nothing. You got too close.
You got too close. I mean, that's what
Just
happens.
because.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
That's my stank. It gives mortal wounds. Yeah.
It feels weird as a sister. And he's like, yeah, I just wound you on 2s all the time because now you're toughness 2. You're weak.
Now, are you digging sisters in y'all's campaigns?
Oh,
Y'all
no,
Crusades?
I love
Or are
sisters.
you doing your Marines?
No. I feel like everyone's going to be doing Marines, so I wanted to put something else out there so we can get some variety in there.
Yeah.
And I love some sisters, and I'm doing Bloody Rose because they're in the kind of the Crimson Fist area of space.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've got my Canoness, and she's a pimp.
Yep.
She is straight up. So I built her with the Bloody Rose Relic, which is a +3 attack chainsword that's +1 strength, -2 AP, 2 damage, which is going to be -3 AP due to their trait. And so she's at 4 attacks. She gets 3. Bloody Rose gives her another 1 on the charge. That's 8. I gave her the Bloody Rose command trait, which gives her another attack. So now she's on 9. If she's near a priest, she's 10. And last night, she bumped up another notch. I rolled randomly on the character table. She's now coming in at 11 attacks.
That's crazy. I mean, you can't do that with a Marine, like anybody.
No,
I mean, that's a lot of freaking attacks.
because they don't have the fire in their heart for the
Yeah,
Emperor.
I guess. There's no love, which is why they didn't, get this new Great Walker, right?
Yeah, so she is an amazing walker. I don't know if she's as amazing as Canoness Cornelia, I think I named her. Try to make all of them have names.
Mm-hmm. That's what you do with Crusades.
Yeah, man, it's going to be thematic.
Well, let's talk about talking about sisters and stuff. We can talk about some of these new things that Games Workshop announced last Saturday. So if you want to pull that up on the screen there for Tanner, the people are watching on the YouTubes. But they got this new. Okay, we can talk about Kill
let's
Team
Kill
first. We'll talk about Kill Team first. So, of course, kind of get your guys' thoughts on the new models in here, and of course, Stetson for sure is excited. And I don't know if Tanner is excited as much. Stetson's also kind of mad about it, so he can give us both sides.
I mean, one, it's not and I know not every box set's going to be even. A lot of GW box sets aren't even, but you got like 145 points of Necrons versus, I think, what did I say a second ago?
Like 250?
250, 265 of Marines. So, totally even. Can't make it more even than that. The other thing is, and I hope they said that they'll release the models shortly after the Kill Team, but
It
if
should
they,
have just been a 40K release.
yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with the Caliform in the Kill Team box that it came in, and it was like a year before you could buy the Kill-A-Form by itself. So
Well, like Games Workshop time, that's shortly.
Well,
shortly.
I mean, there's still stuff from the Dark Imperium box that you can't buy outside of the Dark Imperium box that they don't make anymore.
Yep.
yeah, it's
Like the captain that came in that and things
Uh-huh.
like that. Yeah, I got one of those the other day. I pulled it out of a box. I was like, I didn't even know I had
I mean, we
this.
just got the Plague Guard characters with all the new stuff last week, but allocation's been so low, you still probably can't get one very easily.
Yeah,
so. I mean, I'm gonna buy the box. It's
yeah.
the only
It
place
has
you're gonna get.
it has things you need in it.
Yeah, it has things I need. It's got to be frustrating for a Necron player because you absolutely need the Chronomancer, but everything else in that box is just if you're trying to complete your collection or you have a preference to it. Because like,
Xeno scum need nothing.
Now, here's the thing though with the Necron players, they probably need one of these boxes, right? If you're a Marines player, you're probably trying to find 2, 3, 4.
see,
Yeah,
I think you're gonna buy just one because you'd only need. I mean, you're only gonna need one of the captain, and in a competitive play. You may never take heavy intercessors just because of the point cost. Now, I'm going to take them because I think they look cool. They have a heavy bolter. They're going to benefit Crimson Fist and Imperial Fist.
And I think also if you're looking to actually play a full Gravis army,
oh, yeah, if you're going to do the full
if you want to
Grievous.
do a full, then you're going to want multiple. It just depends on what you're going to build overall.
I mean, I like it in the backfield to hold your objective back there. Because, I mean, you got tough. You're going to have a lot of wounds.
Yeah, all the extra wounds.
And you got a good range weapon on it. So, like right now, I usually use my intercessors that have the sniper rifle on them or whatever. Can't remember the name off the top. Stalker bolt rifle. So I think these are a solid choice to
Yeah.
replace those. I mean, it's only 50 points more once I add the extra weapon. So
Yeah, I'm really excited to see them on the table. I think they're going to be a pretty good unit overall. And of course, the captain, I think, with that sweet bow pistol and his pose, I think he's a really cool looking model
oh
as well.
no, they're all good. Like even the flares.
Yeah.
I mean, in game, I don't know what role the flares are going to fill for you, but they
They look cool.
They are way prettier than they used to be. They used to be, well, they were fine cast. So you might not have even taken them just to avoid fine cast.
They used to be trash.
Yeah. But the Chronomancer is one of the Chronomancer and the, what's the other one? The one that's coming out next week.
Oh,
Pilot Fight
I've got that on my other screen.
Necromancer?
He's a Psychomancer.
Psychomancer.
Yeah.
Those are just cool models.
Yeah, they both look really cool. Then the thing about what they're doing now with the molding and stuff, and the way that they're able to, you see a model on a base, and old me says that'll never stay together.
Yeah.
You see them because they're all like whipping and barely holding on to something, but I mean it does, unless you like throw it against the wall because you're pissed or something.
right. Plastic weighs a lot less than resin and
Yeah,
metal.
yeah, but they used to try to do that kind of stuff, even on pewter, and I was like, that's never gonna stay.
Yeah.
That's gonna fall. So I'm gonna get to play with that twice, and then it'll never look the same again.
Even the way it places together, like even on stuff that's not like delicate like those two models, the Greater Demon of Nurgle, it's such an interesting kit because you have like one side of fat here, one blub here, and somehow it all comes together to be this ball of gross, disgusting nonsense that's beautiful.
Yep.
I mean, compared to when we first started the game,
Yeah, miniatures have come a long way.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
All right, what we got next there, Tanner?
Now we got some
There's
stuff.
a Sister Knight.
Okay, the internet is trashing my beautiful princess here. She is amazing. She got some Gal Gadot thighs. She got her heart broke by a space marine, and she's gonna show him what he's missing. She put her high heels on. She got herself a multi-melta. She's got faith dice to make it even better than his multi-melta. A cool big sword. She doesn't look as dumb as a Centurion. She's got some other kind of ranged weapon up on her shoulders. She's here to wreck face and break hearts, and I love her.
Yeah, so this is the Peregrine War suit. What is that on her shoulders? Is it a Melta?
No, it's on the shoulders. It's not a melta, but like
Similar.
if you see the other pictures, she has some missiles up there. So I think it's going to be like
There's
a
going to be some
bolter.
options or something.
Yeah, so it's got to be some option right there.
Yeah, and then of course there's an option to use it with the helmet as well. So
Twin link bolters.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
it may be. I think overall it looks like I like it. like it better with the helmet on. From the little video they showed, they did show it with the helmet and
I
stuff.
think just about everything with the helmet on better.
yeah.
Painting faces is hard.
Also, it makes sense. Okay, so I have this super cool high-tech technology that stops me from taking a bolter round to the head, but I looks cooler without it.
Yeah, and I know they kind of talked about it in that little preview. You know, a lot of people get mad about that, and I guess they're like, yeah, there's a lot of things that are implied, like force fields over faces, and you know that you wouldn't realize, but when you're just putting the model on the table, it's like, wait, why is her face exposed? That doesn't make sense. I mean, you could say the same thing for the tactical war suits. You know, they have the same kind of options. So
No, but I hope she's good in game. I mean, I'm probably gonna run her anyway. Like, no matter what, she's gonna be in my sister's. She'll definitely be in my Crusade force.
yeah, I think I think overall it's a pretty cool model. I think it's as soon as I saw it, I went straight to the Grey Knight model. I think it's pretty cool. It'll be kind of cool to see it on the table as well. So it's cool to see the sisters get more and more of these kind of Space Marine add-ons. The same thing. They're trying to make it so I feel like they'll probably make a bike squad at some point in the future, or cavalry, something. And then they'll probably have, of course, a flyer at some point as well, I would believe.
I'm not a fan of any of the baby carriers outside of the Scout Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Just because, like, a pilot should be fully enclosed. You don't have little baby arms dangling out of
Okay,
there.
Tau lover, Tau sympathizer over here, needing all of their guys fully enclosed. We're real men and women in the Imperium.
Yeah. Did you see the baby carrier meme where the Imperial Guard
Yeah.
is just a little baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, what we got next, Tanner? Ooh,
Got the Titanicus.
yeah, this is
Titan.
the new War Master Titan for the Titanicus game. So, what do you guys'
Would've
thoughts
been-
on this? I think it looks really cool.
I think it would be a lot cooler if it was for a full-size four-troll Titan.
Yeah, and I definitely hear that. But as far as for this game goes, I mean, he looks
I don't play
Like he's
games
about
that
to-
aren't 32 millimeter.
he looks like he's going to beat somebody up pretty badly.
Everything smaller than 32 millimeters is garbage.
He really doesn't.
He looks like he's the wrong size Titan that we all wanted.
Yeah.
Where's my church?
Yeah, I
Like-
hear all that,
yeah.
but I think it's still pretty cool.
Oh
looking
no, his
model.
guns are cool as heck. I feel like he's got a crew cut up there at the top where something else needs to be.
Yeah,
I do kind of like the. He's got more of a knight head than a Titan head. I thought that was pretty cool. He looks a lot more like an Imperial Knight.
I love the look of those plasma gun arms, or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Those are.
he's gonna wreck somebody's face. And the cool thing they pointed out, which I didn't even realize at first, of course, he's got armpit missiles, and then he's got like a blast cannon or something coming out of his kneecap,
Yeah.
which that immediately made me think of like Boba Fett.
Is like armpit missiles that the equivalent of a giant robot that doesn't shave?
Yeah, yeah. What is it? That All Real Monsters cartoon, the Stink Monster.
Oh man, that was a good show.
Yeah, he's got armpit for weapons. And of course, they brought out a new book, the new Loyalist book, that's going to have different rules for that as well. We haven't really gotten into Titanicus locally, but I mean, we have a little bit of knowledge. Yeah, I think both of you guys have some different of these different guys and things like that as well. So
Well, I screwed up on mine. So I played Imperial Fist for like 30K. And I was like, oh, here's some Titans who are yellow. They'll definitely be for the Imperium. They are not.
yeah,
They are for Horus.
Yeah.
So,
you traitor.
well, sometimes you like the Emperor, sometimes you're tired of it.
Yep. All right, what do we got on there next there? All right, so there's the
the
new
book for
rules,
it,
the new
yeah.
books, and of course they said there will be another book following it pretty soon with more probably chaos rules, things like that. So.
We got some new stuff for the new elves.
Yep. So this is Age of Sigmar stuff. This is the
Lumineth,
Lumineth Realm
the
Lords.
this is the wind spirit.
Yep. Lord of the Seventh Wind. So, like, this is a good example of what I was talking about earlier. Like, old me would look at this model and go, "That's going to break in 2 seconds."
Oh yeah,
It's going to get caught on your shirt.
Yeah.
You're going to throw it across the room.
But everything's so light, and especially with plastic glue, or whatever you guys are using, and it creates that weld on there.
yeah.
I mean, it literally is just fusing it all into one big model. So, I mean, it's a really crazy model. I could never see myself. I mean, maybe eventually if I got good at painting, but that looks intimidating. to
I
paint.
bet it's not as hard as you think.
Like, because most of your eye is going to be focused in on those tails that are falling down, and those
Mm-hmm.
are actually going to be relatively easy to paint.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, because you could use some of the new effect paint to get a really cool glow effect on those.
and like my rule
With
is,
little effort.
you want your model to look good at 6 feet, because that's what you're going to see it at from
Yeah.
the table. So like,
Yeah, don't worry about it too much on the up close stuff. Yeah.
Well, and you don't want to be playing with display quality models either, because you're just going to tear them up.
Yeah.
You know, so
I don't like elves. I've talked about my racist hatred of all elves in all games, but that is a pretty cool looking elf model. Like, I love the bow. I love what is it? The Cat of Nine Tails from Magic? I might be thinking of the wrong card, but
yeah.
getting some serious vibes there.
Well, and as far as it doesn't really look like an elf.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
fox,
it's a
antelope, it's
spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all these different looking things. So I mean, it is a really cool model. They did a really good job with this one. It's cool to see what they keep coming up with over there.
Yeah.
we've got the book.
Yep, the new book. This is the new
Storyline.
Funny that they're
part of the Broken Realms. Yeah.
okay. This is just a novel. There's no rules.
No, it
there's
is.
rules. There's like
So they had
They just had their book. They don't need new rules.
So yeah, the Broken Realms is going to start having these. As they're bringing out the more and more army stuff and kind of making them bigger and bigger, they're going to keep doing these Broken Realms expansion things.
Okay.
So, yeah. So this is this one here.
The Daughters of Cain, new book.
Yep. Yeah. Of course, the Games Workshop announced a lot of this stuff last month, beginning of this month.
The Endless Spells for Daughters of Cain.
Yeah, and these are pretty cool.
I
All
do
made
love
out of
the
blood and
endless-
stuff.
like all of the endless spells. It's just it's a neat dynamic. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if you could put it into 40K.
I don't think it would work in 40K as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like the buildings from Age of Sigmar to 40K. Like in Age of Sigmar, your buildings are free, so why wouldn't I build it? But in 40K, your table terrain is usually so crowded that it's hard to get a building in. Like
Right.
they look cool, and like I buy some of the pieces just for terrain look, but playing them in game, is
Yeah,
sometimes
it doesn't
rough.
make a whole lot of sense, especially because a lot of times, like point value, like, do I want that?
Like, so some of the ones that are decent point value, like the Sisters one's 50 points, and it's pretty good, but it's massive, and I have to have a certain distance away from every other terrain piece. In some tables, I'm just not going to be able to put my
I mean,
terrain
it's
piece.
even hard just to play the big fortress, not alone the terrain piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're in a game where you need to, one, be mobile, and two, hold objectives, and a terrain piece is neither of those. It's like when they brought out terrain pieces in War Machine. I just like, what's the point? Any game is almost about mobility and getting to objectives. And when you don't have that ability, I don't want to put points into you when I can put points into something else.
And
Yeah,
I
objectives.
would say that the
Get moving the
more
board.
fantasy style stuff is the one exception. Like you're eventually all going to just meet in the middle and fight.
Yeah, you're going to be
anyway.
stuck there forever.
Right.
Like, it's part of my complaint with some fantasy games is they kind of get jumbled and it's hard to keep track of. Whereas 40K, you're everywhere.
Especially like my favorite way of playing was with the cards, and you have to be prepared to move to any part of the board because you don't know which objective you're going to draw.
I loved multi-ball. Multi-ball was fun. Like, if you were a good player and you were playing a new player, you could play multi-ball, and the new player might win just because of where they were on the board.
Yeah.
It was more random. Like, for tournament play, hated it. Because I might lose because you drew better cards.
Right.
I'm already got the odds of my losing because maybe the dice turned on me. Not really a legitimate excuse. I mean, I use it all the time because every gamer does.
I've seen it. I've seen it happen my way, your way.
Look here.
We've both
you
had it
won
happen. Yeah, we've both had the dice turn on us, and we're like, yeah, this game's over. I'm gonna put my stuff up and go home.
But I loved multi-ball for a friendly game. I was kind of sad when they took that out. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I love 9th edition.
Which I mean, we've gone back and played a couple Maelstrom games since 9th that's coming out just because it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, what we got on there next here? So yeah, okay, we're
Dark
going into
Angels.
Dark Angels here.
Probably the best combat patrol box next to maybe Blood Angels for any Marine player. Because, one, you can't get a hold of Redemptor anywhere, and now suddenly you can.
Yeah, I think the big reason that I think because their production's been so slow, they know these boxes are coming up. So if you see something sold out, I think that's probably coming up in a box because I think they're just basically pulling those. All the production line for those, they're putting them in these boxes like the Emulator. You couldn't get it,
Yeah.
or the Impulsor. I mean, sorry, forever because it was now it's in the Blood Angels box. So I think that's in the Tactical War Suit forever. You couldn't get it. Now I'm able to start ordering it, but I couldn't because it was in the Space Wolves box. So I think they're just kind of slowly pulling all their stock and sticking them in these boxes. Now the other thing they could be doing is like, hey, we have the stock, but we're going to put this in a box, and then they're going to spend this much money because you can't get it any other way. So, but I think it's a great box set.
Because otherwise, like if you're buying that, you're not going to want more than 2 because you're not going to want 2 chaplains. So unless you can trade it or convert it, which you might be able to, the chaplain, a little less on the conversion. The librarian, you can do a little bit more with out of the
Blood Angel box.
Blood Angel box.
Yep.
But you're going to use all the models in both of those boxes for at least if you buy one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the deal's you're still saving money even if you bought 2 because what's a Redemptor? $60. You're looking at $50 for the Inceptors.
I think there's 60.
60. So
I think everything in there is 60 except for the chaplain.
Oh, and the intercessors because that's only half the squad, so we'll say 30.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You're 150 just for those in the box. 140. So even if you're not using the chaplain, you're saving $10.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason.
Yeah, it's a great purchase. GW is really doing a good job with these boxes so far that I've seen. Of course, I'm thinking a lot of people are, and then also you get the Dark Angel upgrades in there as well. And those are $15 each, and you're going to get probably 2 of them.
And so I mean, it's a good deal.
So-
Like, and the Blood Angel one, which was an impulsor at 75, 5 infiltrators, 5 intercessors, so there's 60. So that's 135. The
And then you get the
librarian.
librarian.
Was that all you got, or did you get some aggressors? In
There's
that one?
aggressors in that one as well.
So you're almost getting an aggressors for free and a librarian.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a pretty good box. I like this one a lot. They did a pretty good job with it. Of course, the chaplain you can get solo as well, but it's. I think as far as the chaplain models that they currently have, if you're going to pick one for Dark Angels, that's the one you pick there.
really, I think you just pick the one on the bike, no matter who you are.
Well, yeah, I mean, talking about what you're going to build when you actually get your Dark Angels army. But if you're playing any Marine faction, this is a great box.
Yeah, and chaplains are good. Like man, that's the hard part I have building Marine list right now. Is like because I usually don't have the points to do multiple detachments, and if I do, I'm going to spend some command points just to get like one guy. But I'm always torn between a captain, a chaplain, a tech marine, and a librarian. Like which of those 3? Like I don't even lieutenants are good, and I don't even consider them right now because I have a hard time getting them in.
Well, and with your running the dreadnoughts, you definitely want to have the tech marine, so that's hard not to want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you're getting rerolls on your hits with your captain. So I mean, you're getting one already or something, and then
Well, I guess
he has his own rules that you throw in there.
It depends on what you're focused as far as filling out the rest of your army, since core rules are a thing now. Do you need the
Yeah.
rerolls or do you need something else?
Yep.
And I mean, all of those models are now sexy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a little weird when you talk about inanimate objects being sexy, but they're sexy.
Well, I mean, for what they do, yeah. I mean, it's just it all looks so freaking cool.
Like
yeah.
the Tech Marine, of all of those, I think is my favorite looking one.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a cool bolter weapon, servo arm, cool sword, big, and not fine cast. That's a big plus. Because the other one is a fine cast mess. I remember Darren cursing for hours before, what was it, the big tournaments at 2,500 points where it was just be as deadly as you can.
The Arg Boys.
Ard Boys.
Yeah.
Cursing for hours to get this built before
Yeah.
a game.
And I think that he's still he's gotten a whole lot of new stuff, and he hasn't put really any of the new stuff together. He put more material together, but outside of that, he's like, I don't want to put anything together. And I think it's because he still is like,
And then he goes and buys a bunch of Forge World.
yeah.
podcast
Well,
stuff.
I already said who's putting that together, and he looked at me and he, you. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay. I guess. I guess
So-
that's gonna be fun.
So is that when you look at Tanner and be like, Tanner, I got a new project for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I
You
think
can
some of
make
that
it-
stuff is gonna be really cool to put together. So I don't actually mind it. So.
No, just make it a podcast. Today we're putting together the Thunder
And,
Rock.
there might be some of that where we kind of stream some of that stuff live, and we'll do some of that. So that is some things we'll be unboxing them for sure. I've never been inside of a Forge World box or anything like that, so it'd be kind of cool to see that for the first time.
My Warlord Titan came in 3 of the big, as big as the Blood Bowl Necromunda box. Came in 3 of those.
Yeah,
Yeah, my Stormbird was in 2.
yeah. Well, these boxes we got are pretty good size, so it'd be interesting to see. And then we got a lot of the Primarchs and stuff like that while we were down there as well. So, all right, what do we got next on here?
Dark
so
Angel's book.
The new Codex. It's full of trash. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's a good trader book. I mean, they've got Death Guard, so they needed another trader. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, they've got that secret. It's funny, the guy that plays the Dark Angels, he's really sad that he had to have an appointment because none of us really care so much about him. But he just left. So yeah, Brandon, this is his thing. He would have loved to have been able to talk about this and defend his traitors, but he's not here for it. Yeah, it's really cool to see the Dark Angels coming in. Of course, the Blood Angels. If you've played for a really long time, you know the second edition. These guys were actually in the same codex together when they first were launched.
I honestly was expecting Dark Angels or Space Wolves to be later in the edition and get a Primarch out of them.
Because we need a Primarch. Because we need.
I think that they're just. I mean, eventually they're going to have to get to the point where they want to get all the scale, to the right size, and I think they're waiting on that for some of this stuff.
I'm hoping for the lion over the wolf because.
I kind of am too. I would prefer the lion. I could also see apparently the Khan's super popular, but I don't know if he's more popular than the lion or the wolf.
White Scars aren't going to have as big a following as Dark Angels or the wolf, so it's got to be one of those. You can't bring back Sanguinus. I say that
They will. That's who they're going to bring back.
GW, we can do whatever we want, whenever we want,
with whoever we want.
They'll bring back Ferrus Manus if they want to.
I hope
Yeah.
it's headless still.
Here's the Emperor on the table. Wait, what? He can move?
He's
He's the Custodes terrain piece.
Yeah. Hey, that would be actually pretty epic. He's just kind of rolling behind.
I don't think Dark Angels are actually traitors. I love trolling people.
Yeah.
And they get no. They definitely we're all good. We're all good here, Captain.
Yeah. We didn't do anything. Oh, I didn't know that guy last week that's over there on the Chaos side. I don't know who that guy is. Bob, are you sure about this? Yeah, so of course they got the new Dark Angel Codex, all the new Crusade rules in there, and then of course the new data cards also came out with that. So, and then we have one of the things I think I've been very much anticipating, the new Storm Speeder. I mean, these things are freaking awesome.
I am happy for it. I'm gonna have a hard time putting it in
Finding a place to put it.
But I think Imperial Fist and Crimson Fist have an interesting place for it because our Super Doctrine is only on the first turn.
Mm-hmm.
With the new terrain rules, it's relatively easy to hide some tanks. So now I have a way to move real quick turn one, get that line of sight, get those shot off. Now, it's going to die quick, but if you have a plan for it, it's going to do well. I mean, Dark Angels, one, are obviously Ravenwing will have a use for it.
Yeah.
You'll have a use for it.
Yeah.
White Scars will have a use for it. When I say you, Blood Angels.
Yeah. I think that it's one of those things. Like I said, it's going to die, but if it gets up and destroys what you need to destroy, so that you have a tactical advantage the rest of the game, it's done its job.
I just needed to annoy my opponent enough, and then they're shooting at it that turn.
Yeah.
So it's like a.
But if you've got this multi-metal flying around, and then you got the other multi-metals you got driving around or walking around, and they're worried about that and not the other ones, because you still got other multi-metals.
It might buy a turn for your Eradicators to get there.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be necessarily right up in range, and it looks cool.
Yeah.
Just the only complaint I have about the model is the little, and I'm going to find a way to get mine out, is the little guy in the turret at the back. Like there's no reason for him. Just you can have the missiles there and just have the two pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way they're saying, one pilot's taking care of that handgun, right in front of him. So they were like, well, we're going to have somebody else doing the top one. But I think you could have still just done that enclosed.
I mean, you could have assumed that the other gunner was inside or something.
What's the Winnebago on wings? Storm Raven?
Yeah.
Storm Raven has a assault cannon up there with, I think, a servitor running it. It shouldn't be a Marine. A servitor at best.
Yeah.
Well, and, as far as the Primaris stuff goes, they don't have anything like that servitor-wise, right? Nothing's being manned by servitor. It's all.
Oh, I don't think I noticed that.
It's all Primaris Marines.
I don't know. I haven't noticed them lore-wise because you don't see it in the Space Marine stuff a ton, but even the Rhinos are driven by servitors in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to make it less grimdark to get kids involved. They are putting it in a lot of those books. I'm like, so
let me pay your family's debts. Get in that tank for the rest of your life. Okay, you can't get out. Sorry, we'll fix that. Did you need that leg? Yeah, you do. You need that leg to stay connected to that pedal forever.
Look, all of our stuff is driven by zombie computers.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I favorite load out there for you?
I mean, obviously the multi-melt.
Yep.
Like, I think there is a place for the las cannon one. I'm sorry, I don't know the names off the top of my head. I guess I can look it up. I have a phone. I have the technology.
Let's see if it shows me here. Let's see. You got the Hellstrike which is going to be your anti-infantry, the Hammer Strike, which is the melty version, and the Thunder Strike, which is going to be your last cannon
So
version.
I think 2 of those have a place, and you can put them in. I think the Melta one's going to have the
Probably see that more often.
CR for more. The Hellstrike one just confuses me because I don't know. I think it has like maybe 4 more shots than the ATV, but the ATV is 80 points versus I think it's 160, 170 for the Hellstrike, and I'm like, well, I can take 2 ATVs then.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you're getting 8 wound ATVs. Toughness is probably similar.
Yeah, and you get a better weapon. I
Yeah.
mean, because they have it. It would be better, but if they put the heavy onslaught Gatling gun, but it's just the light onslaught Gatling gun.
Yeah,
The
so you're
same
not getting
as on
that.
the ATV.
You're not getting that extra plus in first turn on the AP things like
Oh
that.
no, you
as
get
well.
the AP, but you only get 8 shots at strength 5. Well, I can still get that on the ATV.
Yeah, I got you.
So I don't know. If someone has a plan for it, please comment below.
yeah, basically. All right, what we got next year? All right, so the Blade Guard veterans, we talked about these a little bit last week, kind of, because, again, the Dark Angel guy was mad that they were painted in Dark Angel colors and they're not Terminators, or the Deathwing
Yeah.
colors. But we kind of talked him off a ledge there. But, again, I think this multi-part kit is great.
It is amazing. Even if you don't want to run them, you have so many bits to convert captains, chaplains,
Yeah.
librarians. You can make anything you want, or you can run them as Blade Guard, which are
Actually really good.
actually
Well,
really good.
and like you have
Yeah.
all these really kind of like 90 bits. So like
Yeah.
Dark Angels convert away.
Black Templar.
Black Templar.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do is Black Templar with them.
Yeah, they look great. I mean, I love the multi-part kit. I love the new poses, the shield on the back. You know, I think it's really cool.
Like, I would have liked, the only thing I would have liked, and it's a minor complaint, is different weapon options for the melee weapon. Swords are cool.
Yeah,
Power fists,
and that's
something like
that's one
that.
thing that we've been lacking Primaris wise overall is weapon options.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, and then you
Yeah,
thought
when
they
you-
fixed it when they put it in for the. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say like
Intercessors
one of those examples is Death Company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
Well,
can
like-
load out Death Company first gen way better than you can
Right,
Primaris.
and like, just like captains, like I want to convert a really cool captain, but what's the point? I can't take any of the weapons.
Yeah,
you
so-
know, and I don't want to proxy all the time. You know,
Yeah.
And so now we're doing, and a lot of people are doing,
you
like,
play it as firstborn, but you're
using
using
Primaris.
Primaris models.
yeah, and they look cool. Like, I
Yeah.
built a captain with the fist on it,
Mm-hmm.
got him painted. I love how he came out.
Yeah, I think overall, if you're, because the wounds are all the same. I mean, really, it's just you're saying that it's not really that much different.
Yeah, you
Right,
lose
it's
like
really
an
not.
attack.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just you're when you're playing the game, you're saying I'm losing that one thing.
But you want your army to look all the same.
Yeah,
yeah.
And when we went down to this bunker this last week in Dallas, we saw some of the second generation stuff. I mean, the second edition stuff that they have displayed there.
Yeah.
I was like, wow! I forgot how tiny all this was. Like the little predators and the little rhinos.
They were so short.
Yeah, and I remember playing with that stuff, and I was like, man, that's crazy.
I mean, even just the dreadnoughts from a dreadnought to a redemptor. It's huge.
Yeah, and then they had the I remember those stupid predators, and they had the metal pure sponsons on the side that you had to glue to plastic and hope it. And that, that's one of those things. I got to play with that twice before it didn't look that good anymore. You know.
I did the old Razorback where it had, which I like the old Razorback where you had the guy behind the turret, which I know I just complained about that a second ago.
It made more sense here.
It made more sense here, but it was an all metal piece you had, and it was the worst.
Yep.
It was the absolute
Yeah,
worst.
yeah. Thank God models have been able to come so far.
You've seen like on Bell West Holes when they show the original Thunderhawk,
Yep.
which was all metal. I'm like, I just look at it and I have my fingers hurt from the glue that
Yes, that was
them. Yes.
one of my biggest complaints is like, ow.
Ow.
Or if you were wearing denim that day and you went like that, oh, my leg just burned,
Yeah.
like
Well, like,
chemical burns.
I know when I first was putting together metal models, I wouldn't do it if I didn't have some sort of glue that had an activator. Like I'm not gonna sit there and
things like
hold
that.
it.
Yeah,
all of War Machine. So I
Uh-huh.
would prime it and use an activator just to find some way
And
for
then-
it to stick.
And then you get glue and activator on your hand at the same time and end up with second degree burns.
yeah. It's not safe.
It's
Children, you ask a parent.
or don't. That'll be a fun story later in your life.
All right, what do we got on here? So they got the Eradicators next, right?
Yep.
All right, so these, of course, we've already had the Eradicators out in some shape since the Indominus box came out, but now we are getting the Heavy Melta on there, which I think you've kind of proxied a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel bad. I think when someone asked me on the forum, I'm like, I said, unless you're Imperial Fist, I think the regular one's better. But no, like, Ultramarines are going to want the regular because they can walk without penalty for 2 of the turns. It gives you the +2 damage, +4 if you get within half range. So great if you're playing Death Guard. Now that you take losing that -1 or taking on Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, the 5-point increase was needed, and honestly, I said that it needed a 10-point increase to justify how good it is.
Yeah.
Because even now, it's a little more balanced, but I mean,
So now, question, because I haven't really looked at it because I haven't thought about it until just now. Do you still get an extra attack even for that one?
yeah. So it's still 2 shots.
So, but it's 2 shots by itself. Do you get an extra attack for shooting at it like you do
But
with
it
the
was
regular?
1 shot. No, so there's the multi-melta that's 2 shot, and
Yeah.
you'll get the extra. So you'll fire 4 shots with the multi-melta, and you'll fire 2 shots with each of the heavy melta rifle.
See, that's just nasty.
But you can put the multi-melta one even in your regular Eradicators, the
Yeah.
one that came in the box set. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm buying 2 boxes to build me 2 multi-meltas and give me 4 long rifles, so I have options.
Yeah. It's a great kit. Again, this is, since it came to the game, immediately was dominating the board.
So one of my favorite things on it, because when the Night King came out, I was like, how do I kill that thing in 1 turn? And then I realized I could do it. So if you can get a unit in range of the Night King and your Crimson Fist, because the Night King has certain keywords.
Yeah,
you can,
stupid keywords.
So you can use the Imperial Fist stratagem. It pays 2. I pick a unit. I pick a vehicle. I get +1 to wound. Then there's the Crimson Fist stratagem that's I pick a character, I get +1 to hit. And since he's both a character and a vehicle, I'm going to be hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, with, I assume I'm going to have a captain in this scenario where I'm right there.
I think it'd be interesting to see an Imperial First person not take, or Crimson Fist, either one, not go with a captain.
Yeah, I don't know why you would, especially since you can get a hold of a relic that makes them a lieutenant as well, or gives them the lieutenant rules. It's for... I think I've built 1 list without a captain.
But the chance of, let's say you miss a roll and then you re-roll that becomes a 6.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving yourself so many options there. So I mean, it's kind of hard not to.
There was a point where people would just take the full re-rolls just to re-roll everything to try to get 6s, because I think the numbers came out a little bit more in your favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know every time it happens and I see it, I'm like, dang it.
until you get into combat with me, you're like, welcome to the Thunderdome. I've got 900,000 attacks per
This game's
regular
looking
dude.
really, really bleak. Oh, it's 3rd turn, my time.
Let's see what else we got.
All right, so this is the new Psychomancer. What do you think about that, Tanner?
I mean, Xeno Scum. I mean,
Outside of your lore hate, what do you think about that model?
it's cool. I mean, all the Necron stuff is cool. I'm not... Out of all the Xeno stuff, Necron's probably my least favorite. But all the new models
Is
are
it
cool.
a fluff-wise or mini-wise?
Mini-wise. I just...
Don't like robots?
Well, I like other kinds of
Robo-hater.
robots.
He likes the
I like-
Imperial robots,
I like
the half-man robots.
I like the boxy Tau Gundam style robots.
Oh,
Yeah, and the ones that wear red capes from Mars.
you heard
Yeah,
it here. He
and the
only
ones that
believes
were-
in socialist robots.
That's what we need. We need a bunch of Tau stuff with the Bernie meme.
Be on the lookout
Let's
for
start-
a Bernie cover from Unknown Comics also.
Start
Just
putting
throwing that out
mittens on-
there. It's
Mittens
getting
on all the
colored now.
Tau.
Yeah.
All Tau
Wouldn't that be
headed.
funny if somebody actually, because you could probably make it look like that.
Yeah, some green stuff.
Oh, you could just paint it that way. I mean, it's got enough little sections in their
It'd be
hands. You could
fine.
probably just paint it. That would be pretty funny, actually, if somebody get on that.
So rules-wise on this guy, I have a hard time with him because I think a lot of his abilities are like 12 inches, so you got to kind of get him up there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not immediately benefiting another unit. I mean, he has some abilities that benefit him, but just not like the Chronomancer or the Technomancer. So he's still better than the one that came in the box set, something Mancer. Don't worry, you don't need to know the name.
Yeah.
You'll never see him.
If it's a Necron, just remember Destroyer, Nancer, and you're pretty much good.
You're in.
Yeah.
What do I need to hit with a Marine? 3+. What do you need to know the name of? An answer.
Yeah, that guy.
But like as far as minis go, like the digital skull, the 2 arms, the staff, the baby legs.
Yeah, I mean he's like a little bug on the bottom side there, but he's pretty cool looking, I think, overall, and I like the fact that it looks like something's digitizing in front of him. I mean it's
beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really cool model. I like this one a lot. They showed this one off like a long time ago, I felt like, right? When they were first kind of launching the Indomitus stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like, we never saw anything from it again.
Him and the
I hate when they
Chronomancer.
do that. They do that all the time.
Yeah. So it's been kind of like, and I actually kind of forgotten about it until they just, here, look at this. And I was like, oh, man, that's still just as cool as the first time I saw it.
Like, I'm going to buy one. I don't know if I'll put it in my neck, how many times I'll put it in a Necron army, but it's cool. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's cool looking. And I'm kind of curious exactly how tall he's going to stand, because he looks like he's pretty elevated. So we'll see when we get one in hand. Let's see what else we got here. This is it's just the Dire Chasm. Yeah, this is the
Warhammer Underworld.
the new Ravagers coming out for Warhammer Underworlds. Of course, you can use this stuff in Age of Sigmar as well.
and those are cool models.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not a huge fan of the game because I don't like the card mechanic. Like, I've played it. It's sometimes fun. Sometimes it just wears me down. It is a quick game.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a lot of time or you don't have a lot of money, it is a great game to get into just from that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. And then they also in that Saturday announced the new counts, the vampire counts. I don't know if I have a picture of that up. But these models, the Crimson Court, I think they look freaking epic. The new vampire models.
the gargoyle with the mace,
Oh, that's-
I have to have that guy. Just that is.
Well, Tanner's just.
we
Cool.
didn't have them. I was looking for.
Yeah,
the
I don't think we had
necromancers.
a picture of those. But the Crimson Court looks really, really cool. Of course, also they announced the Cursed City, the new quest game, and we don't have any pictures of that up here either. But
You mean the not Battlefleet Gothic?
yeah, not Battlefleet Gothic, which we had hoped it would be. But
Minis are cool.
Yeah.
It's not Battlefleet Gothic.
yeah, yeah. I think maybe if they'd seen more, uptick in their other flying game already, then maybe we'd see that. But I don't know.
Oh, that's because their other flying game isn't to scale and looks dumb.
Yeah.
Like Titanicus to scale flying game. Here's a bomber. It's the same size as your fighters. Cool.
Yeah. Shouldn't it be a little bit different?
You know, it would be cooler if it was Battlefleet Gothic.
Yep. I think they would see a pretty good uptick if they did do that. So
I mean, I'm all in. Like GW, if for some reason one of you is listening, I got $500 today to blow on everything Battlefleet Gothic. Not to mention updates. I'm in.
yep, I think
Take
it'd be
my
pretty
money.
cool. Of course, we're getting the second book of the Dawn series, The Gate of Fire, but The Gate of Bones.
yeah,
So
yeah.
a Dawn of Fire novel. So we're getting the second book of that coming out, which I know Tanner's super excited about.
Yeah, you got that down for me, right?
Who? Yeah, I've got a
Yeah.
couple coming.
Yeah, you.
So I didn't order Stetson one because he likes the fancy ones.
It looks
So-
cool on the bookshelf. It's leather.
So, but there is an extra one coming as well. So I've got a couple of those coming.
Also, I can flex on the other nerds. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, you read it, but did you read the leather deluxe version?
I don't have time to sit on the website and try and get a copy of the Leather Deluxe version
Of course you don't.
because they sell out.
Peasant.
So what do we got next here?
We got a new Blood Bowl character.
Yeah, so we got two new Blood Bowl characters from Forge World. I think they both look cool. Of course, we're all kind of getting into Blood Bowl right now, so cool to see more and more stuff coming out from these.
Hopefully, we'll be showing a battle report of that eventually when some of us get this painted
Eventually,
up.
Yeah,
my
my stuff's-
stuff is painted.
My stuff's
okay?
getting painted currently,
Not sure if he's painted up, Tanner. But I
so
don't have the time to sit there and get the good copy of the book.
because I'm painting all my stuff.
yeah, really excited. These both look really cool. I don't know when I don't play either of these Blood Bowl minions, so I don't think I would need either of them. But they
I got
look
death.
really, really
I can play
epic.
for Death Lady.
Well, you can play both. The dwarf is a zombie. He plays for undead. Like
All
he's
right.
holding a zombie arm that's holding a football to throw the football. I mean, Tom Brady might be doing that in 5 years.
And still effective.
And still effective because the refs work for Tom Brady.
Yeah,
As the Atlanta team.
yeah.
How do you feel about that game still?
It happened. And now it happens twice a year.
So we already kind of talked about the Death Guard stuff.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us your new thoughts kind of on that, though. Some just overall your feel on the Army and things.
I've gotten one game in with it, and like since I haven't read all the rules yet, it's been a crazy week. I just kind of winged it, but even just winging it, it was a good game. It was a lot better than the past, probably all of 9th edition that I played with them.
I like that. So it's going to be hard building any list, not putting Mortarion in, because I watched one video on how hard it is to kill him. Like if he has Miasma and Pestilence on him, and he has the one Warlord trait from, I think it's the third Plague Company, I can't remember its name, where you can't reroll hits or wounds within his aura, which will be 9 inches, can be made 12 inches.
Yeah, it just keeps going as the game goes.
Like it takes 14 multi-meltas from a Retributor squad of sisters. Like the best was Magnus, and you gave Magnus every upgrade, and you cast Hex Blast, and you still can only do 14 wounds to him. Like your best strategy to deal with Mortarion in a big game is to not deal with Mortarion.
Yeah,
avoid
that's
him.
kind of what my thought. Right, he's on there to be a big distraction, but you really don't want to focus on it.
Like just kill the rest of the army. Like the rest of the whole army is about speed 5, except for Mortarion and except for what's the drone that flies?
The bloat drone.
The bloat drone, which finally my favorite kit for the bloat drone, because I had the flesh mowers, because it's a flesh mower. What do you not love about that name?
Demon princes are still relatively fast, but Mortarion, he's a combat heavy. I mean, he can cast spells, but his gun's not fantastic.
It's range 12 now.
So
I think it actually was range 18. I think it
so
was.
you could, in theory, just outrun him. You know, that's probably your best bet.
Or let him kill 5 units a game. Okay, cool. You got 5 units you can kill a game. I'm going to send the rest of my army to kill all your objective securing stuff.
Now, did you take Mortarion in this game that you guys played?
We only played a 50.
Oh yeah, you guys are doing the Crusade. So that's
he's not in there. I mean, you could put him in 1,000 points, and in a 1,000-point game, he'd be scary because you're playing on a 22.
It's a little bitty board.
Yeah,
like
he is the board.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how slow you are in those games. Yeah. You don't outrun anything. You can't outmaneuver something. You can't flank real well without a stratagem.
And so you can, even with the Death Guard, with their way their new disgusting resilience works and having 2 wounds, it's still going to take you some time to go kill all the other objective securing stuff. I mean, they're pretty stout.
That board says we're going to get in each other's faces. Like
my plan for the army I'm planning on building now is I'm going to take Typhus and a Terminator Sorcerer, fill out as many Terminators as points allow, and then just fill out my battle line with Boxwalkers.
I think it'll be solid with Typhus there, with the stratagem. Like you're obviously going to do the Harbingers, I think is the correct.
I think that's the right one.
And then you're going to have a stratagem where you can reroll all hits with a Poxwalker unit. Then you have a stratagem where on a 6 to hit you do a mortal wound, and on a 1 to hit you do a mortal wound to your own unit. So I'm going to throw 20 Poxwalkers at you. I'm going to swing 40 times, and I'm going to reroll all of them, just hoping for 6s. I don't care what happens the rest of the combat. Oh, I killed 3 of my 5-point models, which I might save on a 6.
Yeah.
I'm all
and
in.
They might come back if I kill something.
Yeah, and then you still have a stratagem once per game per unit. That's I roll 76s, and on a 3+, I get a guy back. Great, like, and then you have Typhus is going to end up with that Warlord trait, which that Warlord trait is everyone within his contagion range, which he adds 3 inches to his contagion range. So turn 1's 4, and so on and so on. And then you have a spell that you can make it 12. Everyone who starts their movement in it takes a mortal wound on a roll of a 4+, or D3 mortal wounds on a 6. Now you tie that in with the fact you're doing mortal wounds from your Poxwalkers. You have 3 or 4 stratagems that just do mortal wounds from characters. You have one that every time I kill a model, I deal a mortal wound in combat. You have one where I take a mortal wound. I'm going to do 2 D3 mortal wounds to a unit or D3 mortal wounds to a character. I have one that when I die, I'm going to, on a 2 through 5, I do D3 mortal wounds, and on a 6, I do, actually it might be just 1 mortal wound, and on a 6, I do D3 mortal wounds. Then you have another one for every, and you can only do it once per guy with a relic. It blows up like a 6-inch, you still have the relic, it does like a 6-inch ore where it does mortal wounds. Mm-hmm. You don't have to shoot. You just do mortal wounds. Yeah. And then Typhus does mortal wounds.
You just show up like, stank.
Like, not even casting spells. Oh,
Yeah.
and then you have a sorcerer who just does mortal wounds if he casts above a 7.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I think a lot of people, like I said, I can't talk to you guys, but a lot of these people that just dump their armies, they are probably pissed
Yeah.
because they started seeing a little bit of this snippet, this that. Oh, they're not going to be any good anymore. And I was like, no, there's no way they're going to make Death Guard suck. First Chaos book out of the box, they're going to be good, and they are.
They pretty much made my Sister Repentia, which were kind of...
They're nasty.
They are nasty.
That first turn, they're nasty.
They went up on points, so you have a tough battle between them or the Zephyrin. But they're almost useless against Death Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't do too hot.
Because, like, they do 2 damage. Oh, okay, cool. Now they do 1 damage.
Yeah, that's true.
So...
You can't just go over there and wipe a squad like
And then
you
I
normally
was
would.
basically killing them on 2s.
Yeah, you made a lot of 4+ invulns there.
The dice were in your favor.
No, I mean, I didn't even kill one on a charge of 8.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I have rerolled a hit and a strength 7.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Yeah,
So the fact that you didn't, that's crazy.
like the week before, I played them against Ultramarines, and they took out a Outrider squad, a chaplain on a
they
bike,
should just be wiping people
and
off
an
the board.
infiltrator.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
they're one of the best solo units in the game. I think right
I
now
was
for sure.
I was about to buy a second one, but with Death Guard, I think they're going to be pretty heavy in the meta.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I'm getting the use. I think the Zephyrin are just going to be better for me. I mean, my Zephyrin didn't do anything last night because it's the same thing that happened to you when my Zephyrin landed. If my Zephyrin don't make that charge,
yeah, it's done.
it's done for them.
Yeah, because I got to charge them.
Because when they charge, the Zephyrin are just as mean.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't charge, same thing. Oh, we kind of have armor.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to be talking about a really cool new thing coming up. This is if you're watching, of course, we have a photo up of a mock-up of what our new building is going to look like. We are very excited to announce that we are expanding our retail area into an actual full-blown. I mean, we're going all in on retail for 2021, and so this is a spot here close to our mall, close to our shopping district. It's in a really good hot spot of town. We're going to be having full-blown gaming area for all of our customers that are coming in. We're going to have a big retail spot. We're really excited. I mean, this is something when we had a different store at the Table's Edge in the past, we had something that was, a full-blown retail store. That's all we were, but it wasn't anything like this. Like what
I
this
mean,
is
it was
gonna
cool.
be.
It was cool for what the town had at the time.
Yeah. So Amarillo's never had a comic store like what we're trying to do, a gaming store like what we're trying to do.
We're gonna have 2 full-on studios back there.
Yep.
One of them's gonna be set up for
Bat reports.
reps.
Yep. We'll have bat reports. We'll have our live cell room. This is really, really epic. We signed up for this on Monday. We're gonna have a couple months to get it all fixed up in the way we want, and then we're gonna move it, and we're gonna hopefully start dominating the retail area here. We're gonna have toys. We're gonna have action figures. We'll have comic books. We'll have board games. We'll have tabletop games with miniatures. I mean, we're planning on carrying the full load of what we can. Like I said again, we're really, really excited about this. So I don't know if you've seen the little mock-up image that I had there. So I mean, what are your thoughts?
I'm excited. It
Yeah.
looks like not seedy, like we don't sell drugs. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
my favorite thing about going to a comic book store in any town. You're like, so where are we going? You just need to look for the seediest looking building,
Yeah.
and that's going to be where it's at.
Yeah, and there are quite a few. Like I said, we kind of got all over the place, and Darren loves going to comic book stores, so we go to them all over the U.S. when we travel. And there's, for the most part, yeah, you've got just because in the most part, it's because you're a comic book store, so you need the cheapest rent possible to make it happen, right? So you're finding the old strip malls, the old strip centers, and that's where you're going.
Even the famous Midtown Comics is not actually on Times Square.
No,
You have
it's
to
a
get
couple
through
blocks away. Yeah.
And you the doors up a staircase in an alley.
Yep. Yeah, it's like we were at Times Square, like, all right, we have to walk 2 more blocks back the way we just came to go back and find it. Yeah, and then you have to go. Now it looks great inside, but yeah, I mean,
But
it's,
from the outside,
yeah,
do
you're
I
like,
really wanna
wait, is
go
that really it? They do a good job with those photos online.
Yeah.
Like even the Citadel, yes, it's on the main street of Grapevine, which
Yeah.
the rent's going to be much, but I was expecting their store that they have in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warhammer World.
Warhammer World. I was expecting that, and don't get me wrong, Citadel's great. They
Yeah.
have a great setup. They have great employees. They have if you're in Grapevine, I suggest go seeing it.
It's in the old district there. I can't remember what it's called. The historic district. In
Yeah,
Grapevine.
it's downtown Grapevine.
Yeah.
Main Street there. I recommend it, but like, it wasn't what I expected. I thought the front would be like.
I was expecting something a lot bigger. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still huge for an actual Games Workshop store.
It's just Games
But
Workshop.
if you,
Right.
and I don't know if you've ever been to a battle bunker, you probably never have. The battle
Not a
bunkers
battle bunker.
were huge. They were twice the size of what that was.
Really?
Yeah. So the one we went to in LA was humongous. And they don't have those anymore. You know, sadly, they went down to just their GW stores, and I think this Citadel is the only thing.
I've been to a GW store, and they're like teeny tiny.
Yeah, it's just cram as much crap in here as you can, and they have a couple demo. But now those things are there to help make sure they get people in local stores. You know, they want you to play at your local gaming store. But I mean, it's pretty cool to see that Citadel we went to this last weekend. So
it's a great little store. Like Dallas has a great community in general.
Yeah.
Like, even their other stores. Love to see that here.
Yeah.
Amarillo, for whatever reason, we've had trouble keeping solid gaming groups the entire time. We had Table's Edge at its prime. Had probably 2 solid years. I mean, 3 if you count the time we were kind of like a club at Darren's other company.
yeah,
But gamers in general are kind of flaky, so it takes a lot, and you
Yeah.
need a solid store. And this, I think, will go a long way to getting us.
yeah. So we've got 12,500 square feet. Table's Edge was at its max 5,000.
Yeah.
So we're talking 2.5 times the space of what we had there, and that was what felt like a huge store.
Because the store itself makes a huge difference because we're all nerds. We're mostly introverts.
Yeah, and I
We don't
think
want to
that
be hanging out somewhere that we're not comfortable.
we want people to be okay. Yeah, cool. I feel like I can come in here and play and not have to fit in with those guys or these guys because we
Right.
don't want to be that. We'll have to tell Stetson to calm down and quit yelling at the noobs. I'm just kidding. He actually does a great job with helping people learn the game, which I really do appreciate. So
Like in Lubbock, you have Stormcrow Games, and that store is not going to be that big, but it makes a huge difference to their community.
Yeah.
Like their community was dying as challenge games stopped caring as much, and he stepped in, and Stormcrow makes all the difference. They have a solid community, and this is what I think we're going to have here. I'm super excited about this just from seeing the mock-up there. That looks like somewhere you want to walk into without looking around to see who's watching you walk into there.
Well, and that's part of the goal too. It's in a better location. It looks like somewhere you want to walk into. So we want to attract all these people that aren't nerds and turn them into nerds.
They're nerds. They just don't know it yet.
yeah,
Correction.
I think the more and more you get to know people, you're like, wait, yeah, you're a nerd. You just
Dork.
You didn't realize what you were nerdy about. Yeah.
We will say that when you walk in the store. Sorry.
Yeah. So we plan on making it look great. We've already gotten kind of the interior, kind of figured out what we want. It's pretty wide open right now. We're going to do a little bit of walls here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty open. Really good space for games, tabletop games. We've got a big old corner of the room already kind of carved out for all the role-playing games, miniatures, paints, all that kind of stuff. Of course, comic books, and then toys, T-shirts, that kind of jazz as
and
well.
What's going to set us apart from other local stores and kind of put us on Citadel status is everything's going to be finished looking. It's not going to be ramshackled together.
Yeah, we want this to look. I mean, even though we are local, just here in Amarillo, we want this to look like when you walk in, it's something you would see, from a huge big company.
You're not going to see a bunch of foam board buildings that aren't painted sitting all over the tables.
Plus, you might actually run into me, so double plus. You're welcome.
Well, and that is true. We want it to be a destination where people want to stop and say, hey, I want to go in there. I want to check it out. I want to see this when I drive through Amarillo or whatever. So we want that, and I think we're going to try to do our best to make sure that is what a destination people want to come and see. So it'll be really cool. We're really excited about it, and I can't wait. April 1st is our hopeful opening date, April 1st, 2021.
It's not an April Fool's joke.
Nope. That's just when we have to start paying them money, so they have to kind of be open that day. So we're really excited about that. We can't wait. We'll say we signed paperwork on Monday. They're going to give us a couple months to kind of get it all set up, and then like I said, April 1st, we're going to be the new retail space of local area for Amarillo and the surrounding areas. So there's nothing really between us and Lubbock. nothing between us and Albuquerque, Oklahoma City, Denver, and then of course outside of Lubbock, you got to go over there to Dallas to find another big game. So, or a big store. So it's gonna be really exciting to be something like that here for this area.
Albuquerque is kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah.
They're not easy to find on the internet.
Yeah,
And like their one really good looking store isn't really big into gaming.
yeah,
It's mostly comics there.
yeah. And you've got some other kind of things in Arizona, things like that. But I mean, there's just a long way to go before you find another good place like this. So we're hoping we can be a good travel destination, a good stop for our local people, and then we'll be able to build a pretty good sized community again here in Amarillo. So, and some of the stuff we want to do, like Tanner was talking about, we'll have a couple of studios back there. So, and then we're going to be putting a lot more stuff on YouTube. So,
So
we
please
kind of wanted to hit that a little bit as well.
comment on what you'd like to see. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, I'm not officially a part of this company, but I feel like we want to cater to you. What would you like to see? Would you want to see battle reports? Do you want to see us building minis, doing unboxing, painting?
Yep.
Or
Yes.
like, or
'Cause, I
even
mean, yeah, we're still a new channel, so we'll cater to the content you want to see.
like list reviews. You want to? We could do that. Like go over a list a week. Like we're not perfect. We might tell you something's terrible, and it actually works great.
Yeah.
But I would like to see this channel go different places. I mean,
Yeah. We definitely want to be pretty diverse, and I think that's what we can work on as far as seeing what we're going to put out content wise. So I think we're really going to try really hard to do that. So
so make sure you like and subscribe.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, yo, like and subscribe. Get into the channel right now.
Let's get to 3 digits, maybe 4 digits on those subscribers. So appreciate everybody guys joining. I'm going to tell you about our where you can find us. So look for us on Facebook at Unknown Comic Books. On Instagram at Unknown Comic Books. Of course, you can find all the stuff we're talking about as far as models, comic books, all that kind of stuff. You can find that stuff on our website, unknowncomicbooks.com. And then, of course, podcast. Eventually, this will be uploaded to a podcast, so you can subscribe to all your favorite channels, Audible, iTunes, and then, of course, Spotify. So
As soon as we get to 1,000 likes, we're going to do a giveaway.
that probably will be true. Thanks for throwing that out there, Stetson.
Just making sure.
Stetson's like, it better be me. All right. Anything else, Tanner?
We're gonna give away one of Stetson's armies.
That's fair. I mean,
He's got some to spare.
I have some to spare.
So
I mean, I might actually do that. If we get to 1,000 likes, I will put up a painted mini. Good painted mini, not by me.
he knows a lady. Or 2.
Yeah, I mean, I will put up something if we get to 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's
You
awesome.
heard it here first.
Yep. All right. Well,
On my phone now, guys. You can't reach me.
thanks everybody for joining us. I'll let Tanner take us out.
All right, thank you guys, and we'll have this up. Be sure to keep on the lookout for more content on both this channel and our Unknown Comics channel.
Yep.
Subscribe to both of those, and we'll see you all next week.
Later.